We get to talk about one of my all-time favorite subjects, which is Walt Disney and Walt Disney World specifically, just outside of Orlando. That's why Tom Corliss is here. He is the CEO and founder of, now hold on a second, Walt Disney World News Today, right? Is that what we call it?
If you want to say it all spelled out, yeah, but it just WDWNT.com is what most people know, yeah.
See, I want to be on the inside, Tom. I want to be buddies. Like, this is what I'm talking about. They say that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. So how do you like not working?
I definitely think it's work. Until you're on the other side, you don't understand. Until you have to review every food item, you realize that not every snack in a theme park is good. And until you've had like a pumpkin spice churro that just tastes like cardboard, then it's work. So sometimes it's, don't get me wrong, I love what I do and it's all absolutely always fun, but
you are my people. When you can bring that right to a pumpkin spice churro, now we're talking. Like you and
that's how bad it was that I remember the flavor, the specific flavor, yeah.
Well, again, I don't want to do a 2-hour retrospective on the history, which I would love to do, by the way, but it might bore some of our viewers. But yeah. The reality of it is they call it, the most magical place on earth, and that's self-proclaimed, of course. But there is something special and something incredibly unique that sets Disney apart. Why do you think that is?
Emotional attachment. I think all those other places are fun. I've been to all those other places, and they are a really fun way to spend a day. But I don't have the emotional attachment I have to Disney and their brand. And they say that every time they have a shareholder call or earnings call. Like they say what their strongest thing is their emotional connection to their audience. And the parks have always been that. You feel things. And that's why every time they close a ride, like people are in tears because, they remember riding it with grandma and all these moments in their life they spent at Disney World because these things do create that kind of connection and attachment to people.
Oh, I mean, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, need we say more? I don't think so. So here we are today. Disney comes out. We knew this day was coming, that they were going to say, here is the day that we're going to open. Paint that picture for us a little bit. Would you help us out?
So, obviously, once it was okay for theme parks to open, the economic task force here in Orlando wanted to hear plans from theme parks. So Universal went first, and they moved very quick. They wanted June 5th, and that was approved very quickly. And then the next week, SeaWorld and Disney both presented on the same day. SeaWorld, a couple days behind Universal. They went open on June 11th. And then Disney had a very different plan. Disney's going to be July 11th. But there's a whole lot of caveats to that. Number one is they're going to do a number of preview days for their Club 33 members, annual pass holders, cast members, Disney Vacation Club members. They're going to open Disney Vacation Club resort hotels and the Fort Wilderness Campground starting June 22nd. And then once they do open on July 11th, parks are going to be reservation only. So you will need a reservation for a specific one of the 4 parks to access that park on any given day.
Let's talk about that reservation. Will that be for a set amount of time?
The way they haven't given us all of the details yet, but it should be for a day. Okay. So you will have a reservation for the Magic Kingdom on, let's say, July 11th. You may have a reservation for Animal Kingdom on the 12th, 13th. Maybe you have Epcot. 14th, maybe you have Hollywood Studios. You won't have more than one a day. And the idea is to control the capacity at each of the 4 theme parks.
And be able to know in advance how they can dial up and dial down. That makes a lot of sense. The idea of a park hopper these days is not the case.
No, they want to know where you are. They want to make sure they have the right amount of people in the right places when they do reopen.
Have they released occupancy numbers, meaning the right number of people? Have they said it's going to be 50% occupancy? Have they said that yet or no?
They said it'll be lower than the Shanghai number. So Shanghai Disneyland reopened a couple weeks ago, doing 30. They're allowed to have 30% of their park capacity. The park capacity for Shanghai Disneyland is 80,000 people. The Magic Kingdom is somewhere close to that. Disney doesn't release those numbers typically, but we know the Magic Kingdom is somewhere in that zone. But all the parks are different. Hollywood Studios is a very, very small park. That will be way less people, but demand is also high for that park. That's where they just built an entire Star Wars land. So it's going to be interesting to see how demand versus capacity works out for the first couple weeks of it.
And I do suppose it's helpful every little bit helps. But even that guidance from the CDC recently saying, yeah, the surfaces probably not as much as the people these days.
Yeah. No, that definitely changes things a lot. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we were really focusing on wiping everything down every few seconds, which in the world of a theme park would be hard. There are a lot of surfaces. That being said, I mean, you certainly also have a lot of people. So that being said, it's just contact or close proximity to people doesn't really help a theme park either. But being able to put that energy into spacing people out rather than wiping a surface every minute might be helpful for theme park operation.
What's going to be different? Will it look and feel the same? What have they published? What's going to be different? What will not be present at this time?
Yeah, they have. So Disney Springs, which is the shopping and entertainment district, sort of like an outdoor mall, you could
Love
call
it.
For simplicity's sake, is already open. And they've even opened like the Disney operated restaurants and stores at this point. And so we can see with the absence of attractions, we can see how you would operate shops and restaurants. And with their biggest store, the World of Disney, they're limiting the amount of people in. There is a text-based waiting system to enter. So you show up in the morning, you can give them your phone number and they'll text you when it's your turn to enter the store. So that way they can pace out the number of people in the store. And then for the one Disney operated restaurant that's running already, which is a counter service or a fast food restaurant, they're doing mobile order only, and they page you when your food is ready. And then you can come in and wait 6 feet apart from people. They call you to a specific pickup station. You get your food and you go to a table that all the tables have been spaced out already. So you're not close to anybody while you're enjoying your food.
Okay. Masks or no masks, and for whom inside these parks?
Masks are for everybody 2 and up. They actually just changed it. They lowered it to the age of 2 just yesterday. So ages 2 and up, you must wear a mask. The only time you're allowed to take it off is when you're eating. So if you're seated at a table and dining, that is when you can take your mask off. Otherwise, the mask has to be on.
Same with cast members?
Absolutely. Cast members, and they don't eat on stage. What Disney calls when you're out in public on stage, right. Cast members don't eat in front of guests. So they're not taking their masks off at all in the public eye for cast members.
That being said, speaking of cast members, I mean, we're going to need a picture with Pluto, my all-time favorite, but that's not going to happen either right away.
You can get a socially distanced photo with Pluto. So what they've done in Shanghai, which is actually really cool because it's actually a different opportunity. Typically at Walt Disney World, you wait in a line and you meet a single character. What Shanghai has done is actually put groups of characters together, and you can stand sort of 6 feet in front of them and get a picture with a whole. So imagine instead of getting just Pluto, you can have the whole Fab Five, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, Pluto in one picture. Yeah, you're not hugging them, but it's still a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, but again, Tom, that's the problem. When you get that close, as you and I both have many a times, then what happens is the crying. Not on their part, on mine as a grown man. I mean, really, because I hate to admit it, but in person, you get a little emotional seeing them that close anyway.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, kids and kids are definitely going to want to run up to them, right? I mean, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how that all is policed and works.
If I understand it correctly, too, no fireworks.
No fireworks, no parades, no live entertainment, nothing that can draw a condensed crowd.
Got it.
So they won't do any of those event-type things. That being said, we've seen atmospheric entertainment tried at some of these other places. At Disney Springs right now, they rolled out the Stormtroopers. They're up on a second-floor balcony away from guests, but they're up there and they're just doing their thing, telling people to move along and threatening people. And so, you can have this atmospheric entertainment at the least, and it seems that's more of what they're going to do. So you may see a live band somewhere, but they might be like far away from you up on a balcony or something. But they're going to try to keep those hallmarks of a theme park experience just with new guidelines.
How about the hotels?
And with fewer people, they're also not going to be doing FastPass. FastPass has been completely removed from their website and mobile app. So they're letting you know now with this short capacity, they're going to do a lot of virtual queues, but no more FastPass line. You're not skipping any line. Some attractions, they'll call you when it's time for you to go so they can control how many people are in there. But with the park already down to 20 or 30% capacity, they don't seem to feel a need for a FastPass service to exist. They have said several times that they believe you'll be able to do everything with no problem. So that was our whole thing in Shanghai is even though we're doing things differently, with the capacity where it's at, you should be able to come and visit and do everything you could possibly want to do that's open in the time frame they're open.
Well, here it is on the 29th of May, and of course, the minute this date passes, it will become dated. But my question, can you still buy tickets for opening day, or are they already gone?
They're not even on sale yet.
They're not.
So what Disney has actually done, which is crazy, and a lot of people are very upset, they've kind of hit a restart button. They have canceled anything that's not a resort reservation. So they've canceled dining, fast passes, add-on experiences, dining plans. All of those things have been canceled out for any future date. They've hit a reset button here. And so when they say, whenever before July 11th, you will be able to buy tickets for a specific park. And then from there, I think things will go forward. So if you have a Magic Kingdom reservation, only then can you book a reservation for a Magic Kingdom sit-down restaurant, if they're even operating them. But they're essentially hitting the reset button.
On that note, those hotels have been closed, I'm assuming. There's nobody in those hotels at the moment, correct?
Not right now, yeah.
And what about, have they said what the release date and the timing is on the hotels reopening? Have they done that yet or no?
They did for a moment. All they've said, all that's official now, is on June 22nd, the Disney Vacation Club properties are open to Disney Vacation Club members starting that day, and also Fort Wilderness, which is their resort and campground. But I would assume you want to have some hotels by July 11th, but at least right at this moment, they're not ready to talk about. You can't book anything right now. So you can't even book a hotel right now. They've paused all reservations.
And finally, how about Blizzard Beach, the water parks? Have any direction on that yet?
They've said those will remain closed, which is odd considering Universal on their reopening day is opening their Volcano Bay water park right from day one. So Disney has decided they're not ready to try water parks. And I think what's interesting is, I mean, we're only a couple days from June 5th. I still have, even though I work in this field, I still have 100 questions on how a water park works in this, because my mask ain't going to work at a water park. Like, I don't know.
No, but again, it's funny. We were just talking about this the other day. I mean, the CDC's guidance is the swimming pools are fine. You have to be socially distanced inside a body of water.
Yeah.
It's not the pools. It's the surfaces. And even that, they're like, well, the surfaces, it's really the other people.
Yeah.
Outside of the pool, not in the water. Talk about hedging your bets if you're thinking about doing a theme park. Disney, if anybody's going to get it right. And I believe the CEO said, listen, we're waiting because we're only going to reopen once. And I believe that was almost a direct quote.
Yeah, something to that effect, yeah.
Yeah, so, all right, my friend. Well, will you come back and give us an update next month as things continue to emerge?
Absolutely. I've got a resort hotel book for Universal's reopening in a couple days, so we're, us theme park people here in Orlando are very excited to get back to some sense of normal.
Absolutely. All right, well, keep on keeping on. Thank you, my friend. Good to meet you finally.
Good to meet you too. Thanks so much.
We post brand new videos every day in travel at noon and 4 p.m. Eastern, so hit that subscribe button to remind you, and don't forget to like and share this video as well. Hey, watch another one while you're at it.